Hi everyone, so I am back and I want to talk to you about authentic alignment and PEMS today, which is my PEMS model which helps you with authentic alignment. So for those of you who are new to my space, a very, very warm welcome to you. I'm Gemma Sandwell. I'm an energy alignment coach and quantum healer, and I've been on this journey now for about 18 years. Since I first started to study psychology, I then went on to study positive psychology, became a mindfulness teacher, ran a successful mindfulness business for several years. I've worked in corporate for 15 years and trained mindfulness across the whole of the UK. I went on a mindfulness tour and then later went through these layers of awakening, started to learn about energy work and the quantum, and I now bring all of that together in my work. So for those who are new to my space, a very warm welcome. And I wanted to just hop on, hey Joe, and talk about authentic alignment. And it's been a while since I've been on, and I've been on video, and I've got purple hair since I last came on video. And one of the reasons that I haven't been on video is because I had minor surgery last week. So I had these two huge moles. You can see the scars are there. I had these two huge moles removed last week. And I had these lovely plasters on. I could have come online. I still saw some of you. Some of you saw me with my beautiful plasters on my face, my lovely scabs on my face. But to be completely authentic about this experience, because this is about authentic alignment, I had a little voice in my head, which I have worked through. I have done some shadow work on this, that was saying that by having these moles removed, I had failed. I'd failed myself, and I'd failed my self-love. And the reason for this is because I was bullied for these moles on my face, not only by children, but these moles actually got bigger when I was an adult. But as an adult, I've been bullied by children. So I've had children say to me, "Oh, like, what are they on your face?" I had someone on TikTok say I look like Nanny McPhee. So I have been bullied, and none of those things really bothered me. But it did remind me of my childhood bullying, so I did have to do some work around it. But I've been having this thought in my head this week of like, have I failed myself in some way by getting these moles removed that needed to be removed? It's like I've allowed the bullies to be right. Like, even as an adult being bullied, it's not nice. It's not nice. I was bullied in the workplace as well. So yeah, so I was kind of going through that in my head and thinking, okay, well, I need to let you know why I've not been on video for a while and why that reason is. And then there's just been those thoughts going around that I've had to do a little bit of work on around that. So just being completely authentic with you. Okay, so anyway, authentic alignment. And I brought my cup of tea because that is authentic alignment for me. Let me know. Pop a one in comments if you love tea. Or coffee for that matter. Okay. So, and this is one of the reasons. So this is for you if you are fed up of hearing that there is a certain way to do things. There are certain rules that we have to follow. There are certain boxes that we need to fit into. If you're sick of hearing that, then this is for you, because I strongly believe that each of us has our own unique, authentic soul path here on this planet. And this is one of the reasons I became a coach, because the true coaching philosophy, and I'm now upping my coaching qualifications, so thanks to those who've helped me with my practice sessions for that. The true coaching philosophy that sits at the core of the ICF is the client is resourceful and whole. So I'm not here to tell you, to give you answers, to tell you what I did and tell you to do what I did on my journey. But I'm here to hold what that authentic empowerment looks like for you, because everyone has their own unique soul path. So if someone tells you what to do, what worked for them isn't going to work for you, because we're all completely different. I was working with a client today on her strengths profile, and we were looking at her strengths and how she could apply them to her business. And when you look at the strengths profile, there are 60, hey Melissa, thanks for joining. this is the beauty of me going live later, because then I get all my US friends to come on and join as well. Amazing. I get Australia in the morning, I get US in the evening. So yeah, when you look at the strengths profile, there are 60 strengths. And if you think about those 60 strengths and how they play out in a different combination of those strengths, in different orders, in different sections of the profile for each person, like that in itself, there are thousands of possible combinations. So like that in itself is data that we are all uniquely different, and we all need unique different things. So Jo, you had some moles removed on your face too. You were fine with, but others mentioned them negatively. You had them removed as cancer risk, having them removed very visible as part of your face, but it is your choice. They have done a very tidy job. Thank you, Jo. They have done a really tidy job, haven't they? This one was more difficult because when I had the plaster on just after it happened, anytime I tried to eat sushi, you know, like those bigger bits of sushi with the rice around the outside, I'm sure somebody knows the technical word for it, and I had to open my mouth just a little bit wider, and it just like was pushing the plaster up. So this one isn't healing as well, but this one has healed really well. Yeah, they did an amazing job. Really grateful for them. Because I was a bit of a baby about the anaesthetics, it really hurt. So I'm very, very sensitive. Other than like massage and my top shoulders, I am super sensitive to any type of pain. I can handle like elbows. I've had elbows in me in Thailand. I'm sure I've had women stand on me in Thailand before. But yeah, any other type of pain, and I'm not good with it. So yes. So anyway, we all have our unique soul path here on this planet. So what works for me won't work for you, and that is ultimately what coaching is about. And so what I wanted to give you permission with today, and especially I'm hearing a lot of this at the moment, like I'm hearing a lot of like it's all about energy, or it's all about mindset, or it's all about your strategy. And actually, what I personally feel is the truth is whatever authentically aligns for you. And your higher self, your future self, knows the answers. And your future vision is your lighthouse. Your future vision is your lighthouse at the end of your unique golden path. So the best way for us to get into alignment with our golden path is to follow that lighthouse and to ask that version of ourselves, amen, Melissa, yes, ask that version of ourselves in that lighthouse. I can even like see this now. I can imagine like this little future self, and she's in the little mini lighthouse at the end of the path, and she's putting the light on and saying this way, okay? That is the part of you that has the answers. And if we take this further and we take this into the quantum, we get a little bit geeky with this. Okay, in the quantum field, time is not linear. So if you can see that future version of you, you can see your higher self in that lighthouse, and you can see what you're doing on that golden path, at the end of that path for you, or partway along that path. If you can see that, your reality of like the fact you couldn't see it if it wasn't meant for you. You couldn't see it if it wasn't already a timeline, okay? So you are simply just time hopping. When you connect with your future self, you are just time hopping. I remember this. I was going through a bit of a tough time with the business a couple of years ago, and things were falling away, things were crumbling. Like the work I was doing was changing, the clients I was working with were changing, my mediumship skills were coming in, I was learning about the quantum, and everything was crumbling away. And I remember sitting and looking out of the window in my living room where I was, and I remember feeling this sensation of deja vu, but it wasn't a past deja vu, it was, pop a 111 in comments if you've ever experienced this, and if this resonates with you, it was like a future deja vu. Just had this feeling come in that there was a future version of me that was sat there looking out of that window, saying back to the present version of me in that moment, this is all going to be okay. this is all going to be okay. You've got this, and you've shifted, and things have all worked out for good, and you can just take a breath and relax right now. Like, you're doing everything. You don't need to do more. You can actually do a bit less, and just enjoy this time. Enjoy this time of transition. Enjoy this time of calm and space. And then I remember it. It did actually happen. I had that moment of everything falling into place, and I was looking out of the window, and then I went, oh my goodness, that, like, this is now this future version of me that sent it back to that past version. So anything that you can see in your vision, it is done. It is already done. It is simply about aligning with that timeline. Okay. So I want to talk about PEMS now. So PEMS, P-E-M-S, which sounds like PMS, I know, is what I talk about in my TEDx. It is the sum of the activities of my TEDx, but I've put them into a holistic model now from the work that I have done since TEDx. Okay, and the way that I see the PEMS model is like this. Here's one I drew earlier. Okay, so we have got the P on the PEMS model. The P stands for positive psychology, and I was having a conversation with a client the other day. She came into quantum alignment earlier this year, and she has shifted so much, and her gifts have really come online. And I said to her, what has been the biggest secret for you with this stuff? Like, what is it that shifted everything? And she said the positive psychology stuff. She said, implementing positive psychology into my daily practice has shifted everything for me. It's shifted my nervous system, and it's given me like the grounded roots of the tree so that I can grow. So the P is positive psychology, and that obviously exists on this continuum here. I will talk about what's the other side of this continuum. So we've got positive psychology here, which is the P. We've got E, which is energy, and energy oversees this whole model because everything is energy. So we can't consider these other parts without considering everything as energy. And for a long time in my life, especially when I was in the corporate world 15 years in financial services, I was dealing with everything on a mindset or an emotional or physical or logical level. And I could not understand why I struggled so much working in London. And it's because I was so sensitive. It's because of the energy. The energy was overseeing everything. The energy was everything. Like, and if I could have gone back to that past version of myself to say, you just need to clear your energy and then you're going to feel all right. So energy is everything. And obviously energy clearing is a big part of the work that I do. Those of you who've been coming in for my birthday offer and having my birthday clearing sessions this week as well, you'll know all about this. We talk about this in the energy alignment membership as well. We've got the quick plug for the membership, by the way. The membership is just £44 to join. At the moment, it is going up in the new year, and you will get access to the shadow work solstice workshop in December. US ladies, this is going to be at 4 p.m. GMT so that you can join. And in the membership, I give you monthly energy updates as well. And this is something that one of my friends asked for. She was like, will you do a membership with the energy updates? Because I'm always asking you, what's going on in the current energy? What's going on? What's coming through for you? What are you feeling? Will you put it in a membership and then I'll join? So, so I did that for her. And now that's really, really popular. And I do little mid-month updates in there as well. We did a tantric money session in there, which was really potent and powerful. Everyone's just, the magic's still happening. Things are still coming through with that. So this energy piece is really important. Like, what is the current energy in the collective right now? What's coming through? What's in my energy? What's mine? What isn't? What do I need to clear? Keeping on top of clearing and things like that as well. And then I gave the next bit away anyway, which is S, which is shadow work. So we've got this continuum of positive psychology, which is more the perceived positive emotions, things like joy and gratitude, and high vibrational emotions, which we know we want to be in because that spins our vortex of energy quicker and quicker and quicker when we're feeling those emotions. Interestingly, so another point, which is where the authenticity lays onto this, like as an overlay. Imagine I've got like a one of those, you know, those perspex things that you had in school. They put over the flip chart things. Imagine authenticity going like this, which is why I want to talk about that today, because it has been found by scientific research that authenticity is a more high vibrational emotion than love. Okay, so we're hearing love, like send love and light, da da da. But actually, the biggest and most highest vibrational thing you can do is actually just be authentic. Okay, let me know if you're feeling that. Pop a 3 in comments just to confirm, to let me know you're feeling that authenticity is the most high vibe thing that you can feel. Okay. So obviously with that authenticity lens, we've got this continuum here, and we can think about the shadow as more the perceived negative emotions or our emotional triggers, the things that trigger us, the things that get mirrored to us through our relationships. And Leanne, you didn't know that. Here's a fun fact for you today then. The shadow side is basically, so I'm sure most of you know about shadow work, but in real basic terms, shadows are usually things that between the ages of 0 and 7, we were told for some reason we couldn't be something. And because our brains in that stage of development, literally we're choosing between the love of a parent and that thing. Okay, so really common one I see is anger. So the shadow of anger is what causes people-pleasing tendencies. So what I see with anger is you've been told good girls aren't angry, or, you know, you're in the middle of a rage and that is not acceptable. That behaviour is not acceptable. So in that moment, you choose the love of a parent over that anger, and you push that anger down, and it becomes a deep, dark subconscious shadow until you awaken, or until you listen to the signs. You know, you get the white feathers, you might not listen to the white feathers, you might get the brick, and then if you don't get the brick, you get the dump truck. The universe will come and slap you in the face. This was me when I left my marriage. It was like, we've given you enough signs now, here comes your dump truck to bulldoze through this marriage because you need to leave, you need to get out. So that was my dump truck. So these situations, triggers, mirrors, relationships, trauma bonds, all of these are showing you these shadows. And we're going to go deep into this on the solstice workshop. So if you haven't got your spot for that, let me know. Let me know if you want details of how to join. I'll pop them below as well. Because what we're going to go into, and this is a stage that I don't see in the mainstream about shadows, because shadows do not have to be complex. Shadows do not have to be long-winded. Trust me, I've done the long-winded process. When I was first going through my divorce, I was probably doing a good couple of hours shadow work every day. I mean, we were in lockdown as well, that helped, but I was obsessed, but it does not have to be that long. We can simply just ask ourselves, okay, like, what is going on for me right now? What shadows are present? Why might I desire these things? What are my relationships telling me? And then the bit that I see that's missing, I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. The bits that I see are missing are the shadow gifts, okay? And I came to shadow gifts through my own process with this, where I kept attracting narcissistic people into my life. And I went round and round and round in circles of why. Why do I desire this? Why do I desire this? And then something struck me that it wasn't about a desire, it was about a mirror, okay? Because we talk a lot about, you know, Carl Jung and existential kink, and like, we're really kinky and we really desire this thing, but actually sometimes it is just showing you a gift, okay? Or like a kinky gift, if you like. So shadow gifts is really important, because if you are being triggered by a person or a situation, the likelihood is that they are displaying a shadow side of a gift that you need to embody. And this is what we're going to actually work through live in the workshop on the solstice. We're going to be working through this live, and I'm going to be doing coaching with you. And we're going to be working through this specifically around what are the shadow gifts of what you are experiencing right now. And this was a massive aha moment for me. So to give an example of this, the narcissistic thing, there was a lot of like controlling, selfish, manipulative behavior. And what that was showing me is that that selfishness in the narcissist had a light side, had a gift side, which was boundaries and self-care and asking for what we need. And as soon as I stepped more into my power with that, then everything shifted and changed, and the narcissist left my reality, and I don't attract narcissists anymore. So Joe, authenticity contains all emotions done purely as an incredibly powerful source-based vibration. Yes, I love the way you described that, Joe. Thank you. And narcissists love you. Being an empowered empath is the mirror, indeed. So, and this is interesting because as an empath, we're the mirror, but also the narcissist is the mirror for the empath as well. And it's usually the empath who will do the work. But to do the work means the narcissist will leave you alone. We'll stop attracting them when we do that, okay? So we're going deep into shadow gifts on the 21st, on the solstice. I have received information that this is going to be the most potent date to do this. I'm talking about this in the membership, in the energy updates, like we've been getting ready for this solstice, because this is going to be the time to, so just sneak peek of my energy updates. I'm just going to sneak peek a little bit for you. The current energies are about really focusing on what you do want, okay? Focusing on what you do want, because by doing this, that's going to help you understand what you don't want, and it's also going to help you understand what you are subconsciously manifesting. Because if you are consciously manifesting something and it is not happening, one of the biggest reasons for this is because there is a shadow within your subconscious that is manifesting the opposite, okay? And the biggest one that I see with this is our businesses. We say we want to grow them, expand them, we want to receive more money, but what I see is a lot of subconscious shadow around, will I end up in burnout? So this, this was me. I was in corporate for 15 years. I had real burnout, so there was part of me going, well, actually, if I had that thing, will I end up in burnout? Can I fit more clients in my diary? What if I have to hire a team? Can I give that control away? So actually, we're saying one thing, consciously desiring it, subconsciously manifesting something else, okay? So right now, we want to be clear on what we do want. So when we lead into the solstice, we can start to work through those shadows. Okay, and then lastly, mindfulness. I know I've done this in a slightly different order, but mindfulness sits underneath everything. And I'm going to tell you why this is, and I'm sure it's obvious anyway. Okay, so mindfulness sits underneath it because this is all about awareness. So if we use this present moment awareness, what's in our senses, what's in our body, firstly, that's very somatic because we're working with the body and we're coming out of the head and into the body, into the heart. But secondly, it can build this awareness of what is going on for us right now. Did I get triggered today? Do I need to do some shadow work? Is this energy mine? What is my energetic data telling me? Is this energy mine? Body, and this is what I train you to do in quantum alignment. This is the process that we go through, is training you to use this mindfulness muscle to ascertain what are the specific energies that I need to quantum clear, that I need to quantum heal, to shift these specific energies by naming them. We do that through building that mindfulness muscle first and learning our bodies and our body truth. And also, what is the quality of my emotions? What feels good for me? What would feel fun and pleasurable and joyful and that I could really appreciate today, okay? So this mindfulness sits underneath all of it. And I have to say, mindfulness, from being trained to be a mindfulness teacher, and I taught mindfulness with over 1,000 people around the UK, and when you teach something, you really learn it. It's like Groundhog Day. I will always remember this slide I had with John Kabat-Zinn that said mindfulness is paying attention in the present moment non-judgmentally. Like, the amount of times I said that must have been like hundreds, if not thousands of times. So when I taught mindfulness, I understood it that even like that layer of even more deeply understanding mindfulness. And that is what led me on this awakening journey to understanding shadows, to applying positive psychology in the right way, in the balanced way with the shadows, and that everything was energy. And I started to work with this concept of, how am I feeling today? What's my energetic data telling me? What's my body telling me? And this starts to tell you so much about energy. It's like, okay, that's mine because that feels like mine. That's not mine. I've even got this down to specifically, I know now when I have certain thoughts that are not mine, I know exactly what entity has come in that I need to clear off. Okay, so I've even got this down now to energetic data on specifically knowing what certain types of entities feel like, both in myself and with clients. And also in the ways that they behave when we're doing quantum healing. They behave in a certain way to try and stop me from clearing them. So this can really help. This mindfulness element can help with kind of the spiritual warfare, if you like, because the reality is there is light and dark and we do have to clear stuff, okay? So this is the PEMS model. Authenticity sits over that. Remember, all of us have our own unique alignment journey here on this planet, our own unique golden paths, our soul paths, and we can use these elements of PEMS to help us to navigate by getting these grounded roots in place through positive psychology practices and the mindfulness practice, which is basically just an awareness, like, what is my energetic data in my body telling me? We can then go into the shadow self, and again, the shadows are not authentically us. Like, they are, we can accept, here's where I am right now and here are the things that I need to work on. But the shadows are things that have been created usually in our childhood, right? So this becomes a bit of a nature-nurture debate, but if we can heal these shadows, we become more and more in alignment with our soul and with our soul's path. Because we came to the planet with, I know there's a bit of a crossover here with past lives, but we came to the planet as a blank slate in human terms, not in soul terms. And so these shadows are actually getting in the way of our soul's path. And how many times do we hear, oh, well, that happened, so that must be meant for me now. The universe brought me that instead. Like, oh my gosh, I would be so rich if I had a pound coin for every time I heard that. No. There's either a shadow playing out that is holding you back, or it is energy that you need to clear. I actually physically see people's golden paths and their soul path and these entities coming in and pushing them off their path. But so many people, and it breaks my heart, will say, oh well, that was obviously just meant for me. No, it's not meant for you. It's just an entity, okay? So yeah, by clearing our shadows and by keeping that high vibrational emotion through the positive psychology and having that awareness that everything is energy, that's how we stay on our soul's path, okay? I think of it as almost like a direct channel with source, and any interference, any deities, anything that's trying to kind of come in, you know, the spiritual community and, you know, the influence of let's connect with everything, like that's, we kind of cutting that out. And then we're also kind of creating these barriers, these walls up the sides of your soul path so that you can move towards that future version of you, so that you can move towards that lighthouse that I mentioned at the start. You can be guided by that lighthouse and follow that without any distractions. So, solstice, shadow workshop, we're going to be doing solstice and shadow work and somatic practices, 21st of December, 4 p.m. GMT. over in the Energy Alignment Tribe membership. It's just £44 to join. We've got just checking the date, it's 28th today. We've got the December energy update coming out. That'll be out on the 31st or the 1st. December energy update, which is money and love. Energies coming through for the month ahead for December. And I send you little ad hoc ones in the group and in the Telegram chat as well. So any questions, let me know. I will pop the link below to join. And thanks for joining me on this very impromptu video that I've just decided to do today with my beautiful artwork of the PEMS model. Sending you all lots of love.